Normally I don't eat cereal, but COVID-19 has changed a lot of our behaviors, so. Okay. All right, so today is May 2nd, and what that means is we are still in the middle of this coronavirus pandemic, and I am actually genuinely curious what the airports look like, what the planes look like, how full they are, how empty they are, what they're requiring us to do. And normally I would go nonstop from Chicago to Dallas. But because Dallas has a quarantine right now, so different states have different executive orders and things like that that are in place for self-quarantining or certain restrictions. And so Texas in particular has a 14-day quarantine for anybody that's coming in from Chicago or Detroit or New York or I think Louisiana, things like that. So all these different cities are hotspots. And as of May 2nd, there's still a executive order for that. So I actually want to know, if I get to the airport, are they going to stop me and are they going to make me fill out a form, as I've heard many rumors for? And are they going to check up on me? Is the police going to come to my house, and are they actually going to stop me and say, hey, are you in your house or whatnot? So I'm curious. I'm going through Denver today as a one-stop just because I want to test it. I want to see if they catch me in that system when they see me arriving from Denver but originating from Chicago. And so will there still be a check there, a screening? That remains to be seen. Let's go to O'Hare International Airport. Okay, so I just parked and I noticed that this place is way emptier than normal. And I'm gonna get myself ready here. I'm gonna put this on. It's gonna be hard to breathe from here on out, but it's okay. All right, so if you check this out, this parking lot is normally super full, but it is very empty. And you can tell that there's a lot of empty space, a lot of security too. But let's get our stuff and then let's get out of here. So hard to breathe in this. I don't know how I'm gonna do this for 8 hours.
Have a good one. Have a safe flight. Don't forget to call us when you get back.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Yep. Alright, so you could tell that there's not really that much traffic or activity so far. So I'm gonna go in and see. I got a ridiculous box that I've got to check in, so I'm gonna check that in, get through security. Yeah, I think the most difficult thing so far is I've had this mask on for maybe 20 minutes and I seriously have a hard time breathing right now. So we'll see what that looks like as I go through. So let's go in, we'll check our bags and see you on the other side. How have you been?
Fine.
Good. Have you had to work?
Just I wish it was
Yeah, it's open. Yeah, thank you so much. So, I just got out of the security line. It took me like 30 seconds to get through. Honestly, there's like nobody in line. A couple of interesting observations. I've noticed two things. First, obviously there's not a lot of people here, as you can tell. Second, there's a lot of people coming out of like a few flights. So I know I've checked online and normally they'll have like 6 or 7 flights operating in one day, but they've canceled all that and they have basically a morning one, maybe like an evening one, basically just a couple in a day. And I think they've just packed all the passengers into 1 or 2 of these flights and they're just coming out of just these few flights. And so, I checked on my app for my particular flight, the first leg to Denver, and it looks fairly packed. So I'm a little concerned because they've told us that they'd you know, as much as possible, leave the middle seat open. And, you know, in the flight that I have now, that doesn't look like it's the case. Thankfully, you know, I might be upgraded. I have status with United or whatnot, but so I'll probably have a little bit more space. But the other interesting observation is that I've noticed probably like 99% of people all have their masks on. So, you know, obviously government giving a mandatory requirement for these masks to be worn. A lot of the airlines now are saying you can't get on the flight without a mask. So I don't know if you don't have a mask, if they're just gonna provide it or not. I'm so hungry right now. We got this. We got this. Yeah, I'm so hungry right now. I'm gonna get some food.
So you have a snail neck? Yes. Let me have that.
Probably not the best thing that I'm eating McDonald's right now after eating cereal this morning.
You?
Good, how are you?
Doing great, thank you. Hello.
No.
Feet today. We should have a good ride of cruise night. It will be a little bumpy to climb out day as we ask any time the seatbelt signs on to please remain seated with seatbelts fastened. We're expecting a nice smooth ride all the way to the approaching the Denver area. Then as we descend back down into Denver, it will be bumpy again. We'll be turning the seatbelt signs on a little early today.
Here you go. Please check seatbelt pockets, areas around your seat. Make sure you have all your belongings.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Thanks.
Alright guys, just landed in Denver International Airport. It's pretty quiet here, to be honest. Normally on a Saturday this would be super packed, but as you can see, there's very little activity. So this is the wing that United has their hub in, from B all the way down, Terminal B. So yeah, just landed 5:30 p.m. and we're gonna go to our next gate and do a little bit of a tour around some of the things that are open, some of the things that are closed. So let's go check that out. They've taken offline the dryers so that they could minimize the spread of COVID-19. All right, so far so good. You know, the bathrooms are clean. They got rid of the hand dryer things. There's just a lot of people cleaning, like everywhere. All right, so I see my first store. I've never seen a store open before. Check this out. So this is kind of the middle concourse area for the terminal. So there's a lot of places open. Just gonna go take a quick swing through the area to see what's open. But already a lot of places are closed. So this is middle of Denver's United Terminal. Coffee shop. Oh, coffee shops are closed. Check that out. Chick-fil-A is open though. Let's go check out Chick-fil-A. All right. So the seating area is closed. All the fast food chains are open though. Anything that has a sit down, generally they're closed. So I'm gonna go upstairs to the section where there's a lot of restaurants to see what the situation looks like. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tired because I'm carrying this really heavy like double bag with a camera bag, like a very heavy camera bag, and all my laptops, and I have this mask on and it's so hard to breathe, and I'm just trying to, you can tell I'm out of shape because I just haven't been working out for the last month and a half, but yeah, sucks to suck, but it's okay. Well, take a look at this. I haven't seen this yet. So at this bar, it looks like there's people all around there, but they're all spaced apart 6 feet. So they have some places open for sit down, but it is with social distancing in mind, so. All right, so I'm at my gate and looks like everybody's boarded. But that's crazy because what time is it? It's 5:56. Oh, I guess boarded like 7 minutes ago. Maybe there's really not many people here. Let's go in and take a look. Okay. Hi. How are you? Hi.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure you're not in the back because I moved it up here.
So I should look 2A. Okay, thank you.
2A? Just go ahead and take 1A.
1A. Okay. Sounds good.
How are you? We're back to the normal.
We're going to have a quick taxi out here. 1 hour and 20.
So first class is half empty, or a little less than. So yeah, I don't know if that's, not a lot of people that have status are on this flight. Plus, when I looked, it was super empty. So if anything, it's less than half capacity.
We're going to spend the next hour and 26 minutes flying to Dallas. You're going to spend the next hour and 26 minutes figuring out what to do when you get there.
And with that landing, we'd like to welcome you to Dallas, Fort Worth International Airport with the local time here at 5:09 p.m.
We have to go.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
No worries.
There we go. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this trip. Overall, I would say my experience was pretty good considering, the current COVID situations we're living in. I got here safely, that's what mattered, and Texas didn't stop me to sign a quarantine agreement. I did see a lot of state troopers roaming the airport, but they paid no attention to a flight coming in from Denver. I think the hardest part was definitely breathing in that KN95 mask I had. Otherwise, as you saw, the airports were pretty empty and the airplanes were moderately empty. Going forward, if you are considering flying, I would say quite honestly that if you're just precautious, it is safer than you would think. With the hygiene protocols in place and the improvements in the airline's processes, it's not that different than going to your local grocery store as long as you maintain social distancing. And just to be safe, ensure you aren't sitting next to anyone on the plane, and just use extra precaution. But I think being crippled by fear shouldn't deter you from flying, especially if you have to get somewhere And as long as you're precautious, you should be okay. Anyway, thanks again, guys, and see you soon.